Hello, everyone. Hi there. We're going to go ahead and get started because it's nice and toasty warm out here today. So excited to welcome you here to Highland Bridge. My name is Maureen Michalski. I am the co-lead of the Minneapolis office for Ryan Companies alongside my colleague Jason Gabrick, who's somewhere over there. Jason, maybe wave your hand in the air. And we're here today to celebrate two milestones at Highland Bridge. One, the groundbreaking of the Block 2 mixed-use development that we're starting construction on literally today. And two, the invigoration of new development at Highland Bridge that will bring hundreds of units of multifamily starting in the next couple of years alone. I want to start by thanking Mayor Melvin Carter and Councilmember Sarah Jost for their supporting the community's vision for the site and for getting us back on track through their leadership and advocacy. Yeah, that's right. I also want to thank City of St. Paul leadership staff in PED, Planning and Economic Development, Director Nicole Newton and Deputy Director Melanie McMahon. Woo! For all of their vision and commitment to reinvigorating the momentum here at Highland Bridge. And on the city team, I want to highlight Jenny Wolf in finance and Dan Gilchrist in the city attorney's office, along with their consultants. Yes. Along with Michaela Hewitt from Baker Tilly and Jenny Bolton of QTech Rock. They, in partnership with our consultants and legal counsel Jay Lindgren of Dorsey and Whitney, were really instrumental in all of the things that needed to happen from the technical perspective to have us here at celebrating today. I also want to acknowledge the Ryan leadership team of Tony Barranco and Mike Ryan, who've poured their time and talents into advancing the collective vision of Highland Bridge for many years now. And while I'm excited to talk about the overall momentum at Highland Bridge, there's no greater way to acknowledge that effort than starting an actual project, right? So let's talk about all of the people who've been working tirelessly behind the scenes all these months so that we can put shovels in the ground today to advance new housing, retail, and early child care through the new Tierra and Cantata that will be at the site. I'd like to start by acknowledging our Ryan team, Sean Ryan, who's the development lead for the project, and Patrick Daly, who leads our retail development as well. Our architecture, engineering, and interiors teams, our pre-construction and construction teams, they've all spent countless hours and on an accelerated schedule getting us to this point, and they'll carry us through the opening in the fall of next year. In particular, I'd like to highlight our on-site construction leaders, Senior Project Manager Morgan Fredrickson and Site Superintendent Kirk Blaisdell. Maybe you guys can wave your hands so we can acknowledge you. Perfect, there you are. They've consistently delivered many of the high-quality projects here at Highland Bridge and will do so again for this incredible gateway development. So Ryan's in-house legal team of Michelle Felt and Jennifer McGinnity and our capital markets team of Andrew Twito and Isaac Akala, all of these folks together really highlight the power of Ryan's collective insights. Finally, I'd like to thank the City of St. Paul DSI and planning staff who've worked with our amazing civil engineer, Anthony Adams, on countless hours of entitlement and site plan review process, and highlight Tia Anderson in particular for her critical role. It's through the efforts of all of these individuals and many more that we're able to place shovels in the ground today. And thank you all, from that big picture strategy to all of the minute details of this project. We've shown the power of public-private partnership in solving tough problems to advance a shared vision. And with that, if you'd please join me in welcoming Mayor Melvin Carter to the podium.
Well, thank you, Maureen, and thank you all for being here. Doesn't it feel good to be here? I mean, except for the blistering sun and things like that, just to be able to get to this place. We've gone through a lot to get to this space. A lot of us have gotten to know each other really well to get to this place, and here we are breaking ground on an exciting future right here on Highland Bridge. That's exciting. So I just want to say thank you to everybody who's helped us get to this space right now to take this bold step forward. We're breaking ground on a long-awaited project to deliver on the promise to build housing, to build economic opportunity, and restoring a beloved community right here in St. Paul. We're not just putting up new buildings, we're creating spaces for families to grow, for businesses to thrive, and for our community to come together. This development right here will bring 97 new homes and 8,500 square feet of ground floor retail space. We'll be surrounded by spaces, by other buildings, by just activity. This has been the vision for this community for a really long time. I remember being on the city council when sort of a hush fell over City Hall. And the word went out that the Ford plant that we relied on for decades, for a century in our community for jobs, was going to close. And I remember being part of the group of folks in this city saying, I can't imagine what this future will be without the Ford plant here. Well, let me tell you, it's exciting to have spent that time working on those documents and working on the development agreements and working on all the things and seeing those pictures. And let me tell you, it's crazy what time can do. I can't imagine this city without the future that we're building right here at Highland Bridge together. That's pretty awesome. I have to say thank you to Melanie McMahon, thank you. Tia, thank you. All of the city employees in this space, all of the city employees who have done this work. I tell people my job is to very heroically give speeches and sign documents while other people do a lot of really, really hard work. And I just appreciate all the hard work that it's taken over the course of a very long time, working together and getting the documents together and getting us kind of to this space to move us forward. To Ryan, all of our partners at Ryan, when we were doing the development agreement and when we bid the RFP on this whole site, former Councilmember Tolbert used to always say, we need a construction partner who has a past in St. Paul and who has a future in St. Paul, somebody who's invested in our community, isn't just here to sort of come in and out of our community or pull as many dollars as they can, but is going to take pride in the work that we do right here as we build a centerpiece, not just for our city, but we're building a centerpiece that's nationally significant. When you think about the design elements that we have here, when you think about the climate elements that we have here, when you think about the fact that we're doing it all with union labor, we are doing something that's significant, that's showing the planet how a whole bunch of things can be done all at once. I've been to cities. And as a mayor, I'm like a municipal nerd. So I go to cities, and I can't tell you how many times you walk around a city or drive around a city and you look and think, if we were going to plan it today, if we were going to design this community today, we'd never get to do it that way. We get to design this community today. And that's an incredible privilege. It's an incredible opportunity for our city. It's an opportunity for us to be a part of. It wouldn't work without all of you guys doing all of the work that you're doing. So I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart to everybody who's played a role to get us here, everybody who's going to do some work more than just giving a speech on this site to build the future kind of that we'll all be able to celebrate here. It just means a lot from the bottom of my heart, and I'm excited to be able to celebrate this with you. But I'm also super excited to just continue to see the future that we're activating together. So thank you to you all. Without further ado, I want to introduce somebody who has been a champion for this site, a champion for development, a champion for construction, a champion for housing, a champion for things in balance so that we can kind of move forward and be able to kind of find that kind of secret sauce for our city to be able to move us forward. Councilmember Jost, we would not be here. This is not hyperbole. We would not be here had it not been for Councilmember Jost's partnership, for her leadership, for her stewardship, for her taking, I was going to say a vote, but actually multiple votes, and just putting it on her shoulders and doing the communications, talking to her colleagues to make sure they understood kind of what we're doing and why it's so critical. Again, not just for this site, not just for this ward, but for the future of our whole city. I just wanted to say that out loud in front of everybody. I think you know how much I've come to rely on you as a partner and as a governing partner and as a friend and as somebody who's just all over the city enjoying all that St. Paul has to offer. Please give a warm welcome to Ward 3 City Council Member Sora Jost.
Well, thank you so much, Mayor Carter. As Mayor Carter said, my name is Sarah Jost, and I'm so proud to be the council member that represents Highland here in Ward 3. And I am so thrilled to be at my first groundbreaking at Highland Bridge. I'm so happy to finally see building starting here again at Highland Bridge, and I know that our community members are too. It's so rare that we have the opportunity to build an entire new neighborhood, and none of us expected that work to be simple. There have been many more surprises than I was anticipating to get here, and I hate to say it as an engineer, but it almost feels like the engineering work that I've done in the past is the easy part compared to the last several years. But I'm so proud of the work that we did to find the path back to Highland Bridge again. You know, growing up in McAllister Groveland, I also thought that the Ford plant would be here forever. But now we get to see a whole new part of our city come to life, creating hundreds of new jobs, new places for our neighbors to call home, places for folks to gather and to be able to raise their families and go shopping and here take their kids to a new daycare center that our city desperately needs. And all of that is going to happen here. In partnership with Ryan and our city staff and our neighbors, for over a decade, we worked together for a vision for this new community. And working together again and again is how we are going to see that vision through. And I'm so proud to say that with this groundbreaking today, we are jump-starting Highland Bridge back onto its path to the new amazing community that our city deserves. I'm so glad that we took the time to celebrate today, and I want to thank everyone for being here and for all of your hard work as we start this new chapter in the story of Highland Bridge. Thank you.
All right, well, we share that enthusiasm. I was standing in the sun, so for the few of you that are, I know how hot you're getting. I'll be quick. 120 years ago, I think Henry Ford walked this site and purchased the land. Pretty incredible when you think about that. He's famous for many quotes, and one of them I'm going to structure my comments around, so tell me if you've heard this one. Coming together is the beginning, staying together is progress, and working together is success. The coming together on this site really happened that day that Ford made their announcement. 15 years ago about, right? We're closing the plant. Everybody that had heard of this place had an opinion on what it should become. And about 10 years' time, we were involved in that without a stake of knowing what our future would be. You know, people dreamed a dream worth dreaming, and it's an incredible one. The sustainability features the mayor talked about. I don't think if you layer all of these aspects, you're going to find a site like this anywhere in the country. The sustainability, the walkability and urbanity, just the charmingness of the streets, okay? When you go further and you talk about the quality of the architecture, when you go stand out in that main space on the bridge over the waterway, turn around and look at those homes. I mean, it stands out. I see some heads nodding. I'm glad to hear we're resonating. The mixture of incomes, you know, that was really a huge priority put on the late days of this site. When you think about a new neighborhood being planned that has single-family homes, 30% AMI homes, 50% AMI homes, market rate apartments, 55-plus active adult apartments, senior living, assisted living, memory care. It's incredible. There is not another neighborhood like this. And it's an incredible dream and one worth dreaming. I'm so happy that we got to be a part of it. You know, 50% of the ground space got dedicated immediately to parks, to streets, to sidewalks, to the public realm. It's just an extraordinary thing, and it's a dream worth dreaming. Now, anyone that's been following this closely knows the reason we're so darn optimistic today is the last 4 years have been hell. You know, we had a broken piece of the equation, and the staying together as progress didn't happen for a period of time, and it was gut-wrenching on everyone involved. So to be here today, the last part of that quote, working together is success. About a year ago, you know, the mayor, we had a meeting in your office. And we saw everybody roll up their sleeves and lean in and say, this place is worth fighting for. How do we get it back on track? And I personally want to thank you, because your leadership in that moment is what we need out of government officials and leaders today. Roll up the sleeves. Public-private partnerships are worth fighting for. We're here to do this. Melanie McMahon, we would not be here today without you. It's so fun for the mayor to say what should happen. Someone has to actually go do it. You did it, okay? You did it. Councilmember Jost, the exact same falls to you. To carry these votes through the council is not easy. I know it takes an incredible amount of effort that we never get to see. We're participatory in it, but you led that. Thank you from all of us at Ryan. Tony's hiding. Tony spent 4 years prior to the rent control ordinances coming into place and 4 years after, and it's just, Tony, we wouldn't be here without your leadership. Thank you. And then, like Melanie, Tony, gets to say a lot of things we ought to do. Maureen has to actually do them. So, Maureen, thank you from everyone at Ryan Companies, everyone in the city, for your steadfast leadership of this. We would not be here without you. I suspect everyone else in this tent worked long and hard on this, so thank you all for your efforts, both up to today, but most importantly going forward from today. We got a lot of work to do out here. Again, I'll close with two things. Number one, this dream is worth fighting for. It's an incredible project, and I am so excited to be here, breaking ground, doing what we all do best. A lot of people dream about sites like this. Every architect in the world, every urban planner, every city council member, 99% of them end up pretty picture on a piece of paper and they never go into fruition. It's hard to actually do it. And we're actually doing it here at St. Paul at the Highland Bridge. And so we're thrilled to just be a small part of it. I'm going to wrap up with just a prayer for the site. Construction is an inherently dangerous business. We're going to have hundreds of professionals out here working to bring together an incredible project, and it's dangerous. So I'd like you to just identify the God of your choice, and if you don't have one, just speak to the silence. Let's just have a small moment of silence and say a prayer for the individuals on this site that will be working for the next year and a half to bring this thing to fruition. All right, Kirk, the site is yours officially once we all leave. Good luck out here, and thanks for letting Ryan Companies be a part of this.
So we're going to do some actual shoveling of dirt over here. So those that Mayor Carter, Councilmember Jost, and Mike and Tony, and we can kick off with the shoveling, and then we'll get a bunch of other folks and the team members involved as well.